Hi everybody, Joel from RC Max UK here. Hope you're doing very, very well. Now I have to say a big thanks to my friend Caine, who has lent me his TRAXXAS MAXX. He bought it this week. He's run it once or twice himself and he's lent it to me just to give me a chance to have a go with it, see what it's like, and also to show you guys what it's like. So big thanks Caine, thanks mate for lending me this. So it's the TRAXXAS MAXX, the new truck from TRAXXAS. It's straight here on 4S. You can run it on 3S of course as well. So in this case I just went straight with the 4S to give it the full beans. I had to find quite a kind of smooth surface to run it on. It's quite a small truck, as you can see just there next to my my brand new Armour Caine 8S. And I went out to a spot here where I used to go some years ago with the smaller cars. Often the grass is quite short in the winter, but it was just too long really to use it in most of the spots. So what I did notice, as you can see, it's pretty unstable. It's very, very twitchy. Loads and loads of power for big wheelies and of course jumps and things. So I'd love to take this on some ramps, but at the same time I was kind of being a little bit careful because it's not my car, so I didn't want to go too mad with it. That's a very steep hill there, as you can see, and it's got loads of power and it's pretty good off-road. It's got plenty of ground clearance and it's definitely capable of using it off-road. It does do that a fair bit though, as obviously it's overpowered, it catches an edge and goes flipping, and what it did do a few times when that happened was it just turned itself off. Not exactly sure why it was doing this. Obviously it's the impact of those crashes, but the batteries were not disconnected or anything like that, so it just seemed to be an impact thing, and it did happen 2 or 3 times in a fairly short period of time. So I don't know if other people have had this issue, but I definitely noticed that. It was a little bit annoying, a little bit frustrating to have to go over to it and turn it on again. I did turn the TRAXXAS stability management off, I think about now, because it did noticeably work and it actually did help quite a bit to keep the truck straight. But I generally prefer not using it, so I did turn it off, but it's there if you need it. If you turn it up to full whack, I did notice it does really help to keep the truck straight, and of course that's useful in this situation when you've got that much power, or you've got a little car that's fairly skittish and overpowered like this. But I did turn it off too, because I prefer just being in control myself, but it did make it a bit more of a handful to keep going in a straight line. I do hear that this can do about, I think it's about 50 odd miles an hour out of the box on 4S, and I think that is fairly believable. And some people have been powering these up with a 6S system. Now I cannot imagine that being anything but completely mad, because even on 4S it's pretty mad in my opinion. Now, I had been using the Armour Caine 8S just before using this, which of course is a totally different type of truck. It's very low, it's very stable, it's the opposite in the sense of power, in that it's probably relatively underpowered out of the box, not a wheelie machine at all, and it's much bigger and heavier and more lumbering. So to then go and use this straight away, I really noticed how hard it was to drive in relation, and as you can see, lots of crashes and rolls, but lots and lots of fun. And I did have a quick look at the way it's put together. I like the look of it, the chassis, the solidity of it, the ideas that have gone into it look quite clever, and I've heard that things like the drivetrain are pretty good. Things like plastic drive shafts, I'm not worried about that at all. I don't think that's a major issue. So generally positive, looks like a fun truck. The only thing I would say, it's very expensive. It's £560, £570, which to me is a bit on the crazy side. I think it should have been nearer 500 at the most, in the fours really. When you look at something like an Armour Caine 4S is, I think, 360, 380, something like that I think. So yeah, just to be £200 more is a bit mad. But yeah, otherwise I think it probably has a bit more potential. It's a stronger made truck, I think, by and large, definitely from what people have been saying about it. And it's definitely a lot of fun. Plenty of power. No worries about lack of power here. So yeah, a good fun truck. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Maybe get another video on this if I can keep hold of it from Caine long enough. And again, thanks again, Caine, for lending me it. All right, guys, catch you in the next video. See ya.